She texted at 2:17 a.m. We need to finalize support. Don't make this harder than it has to be. I was awake already, staring at the ceiling, listening to the silence she left behind when she moved. Out, took half the furniture and all the warmth with her. My body still remembered her weight in our bed. My bank account remembered her spending. My son's room remembered the nights I sat alone outside his door because she said I stressed him out. I typed one word. Done. 3 minutes later, her lawyer emailed me the revised demands. Increased support, full custody, retroactive medical reimbursements, emotional damages. Emotional damages. As if I'd been the one siphoning blood from this marriage. I didn't respond. I just opened the folder on my desktop, the one labeled Archive. Inside it, screenshots, audio files, receipts, timestamps, months of quiet observation. When I showed up to court alone, her lawyer smiled. The kind of smile men wear when they believe the game is already decided. "You're representing yourself?" he asked. "Yes." He chuckled softly, adjusted his cufflinks, predatory ease. I nodded once. Let him laugh. Predators never notice when they've stepped into a trap, not until it snaps shut. The betrayal didn't arrive like thunder. It seeped in, like damp creeping under a locked door. She started going to the gym more often, bought new clothes. Subtle at first, then sharper. Dresses she never wore for me. She began guarding her phone like it contained nuclear codes. Face down on the table. Bathroom trips that lasted 20 minutes. Once at dinner, her screen lit up. A name I didn't recognize. Just an initial. Her thumb moved too quickly. I watched her pupils dilate. Micro-expressions. Guilt is involuntary. "You're quiet," she said. "I'm listening." "To what?" "To you." She smiled, tight, defensive. That night she turned away in bed. Claimed exhaustion. I lay there staring at her shoulder blade, tracing the invisible distance between us. My body felt like a transaction to her. An ATM, a co-parent, a utility. Intimacy became mechanical, scheduled, performed. And then one afternoon I came home early. Her car was gone, but her location was still shared with me, a mistake she wouldn't realize until much later. It wasn't the gym. It was a hotel 15 minutes away. I didn't confront her. I made coffee, sat down, and started calculating. I hired no private investigator. I didn't need one. She documented everything herself. People addicted to validation always do. New lingerie purchased online. Hotel charges hidden under a business expense account I funded. Deleted messages recovered from our shared cloud backup. She forgot we once synced everything. I listened to audio recordings I didn't know our home security system captured. Voices in the living room. Laughter that wasn't meant for me. His voice was lower than mine. Confident. Familiar. Familiar. I recognized it before I placed it. Marcus. My business partner. The man who shook my hand at our wedding. The man who toasted to loyalty. The pattern crystallized. Late meetings. Joint trips. A sudden push from her to sign revised insurance policies naming her sole beneficiary. "My body isn't your resource anymore." I whispered it in the mirror one night. It felt foreign. Then necessary. I scheduled a DNA test quietly. Not because I doubted my son, but because doubt had already entered the room. And once doubt exists, it demands evidence. The results would take 2 weeks. In that time, she filed for divorce, citing emotional neglect. Irony has teeth. I remained calm. Cooked dinner. Read bedtime stories. Signed the temporary support agreement. Let her believe I was collapsing. Inside, I was building. The envelope arrived on a Wednesday. Thin. Clinical. Merciless. Probability of paternity, 0%. The air didn't leave my lungs. It simply stopped moving. I sat at the kitchen table for a long time, staring at the percentage, rereading it, not hoping it would change, just memorizing the betrayal in numeric form. I didn't cry. I printed 3 copies. When she came to pick up our son that evening, I handed her one. "What's this?" she asked. "Read it." Silence stretched between us. Her face drained slowly, like ink diluted in water. "This isn't—" "It is. You're being dramatic." "No." She began shaking her head, tears forming on command. "He's your son. Biology disagrees." She tried anger next. Then panic. Then bargaining. I watched each stage pass across her face like weather. Behind her in the driveway, Marcus sat in his car. Waiting. He didn't know yet. I stepped outside, handed him the second copy through his open window. He scanned it. Color left him too. I felt nothing. Just alignment, truth sliding into place. Court day arrived like any other Tuesday. Her lawyer laid out their demands with rehearsed confidence. Full custody, increased support, continued access to my business profits. I stood when it was my turn. No theatrics. Just paper. I submit this petition, Your Honor. The judge adjusted her glasses. Read silently, then again slower. The courtroom shifted. Energy changed. The petition wasn't just about infidelity. It detailed financial fraud, insurance manipulation, intent to misrepresent paternity for monetary gain, documented evidence, signed affidavits, DNA confirmation, and an addendum, transfer of partnership shares due to breach of fiduciary, duty, Marcus's signature forged on internal documents. I'd already audited. I watched her lawyer's smirk dissolve. He leaned toward her, whispered urgently. She looked at me. For the first time, she saw the distance, the finality. The judge began speaking. Her tone was measured, but sharp. Requests denied. Investigation ordered. Temporary restraining orders on financial accounts. Her lawyer's hands trembled slightly as he gathered his files. He no longer laughed. I didn't look at her again. There was nothing left to see. The house feels different now. Quieter. Cleaner. Not because she's gone, but because illusion is... I signed the final paperwork months later. No alimony. No support. Joint custody dissolved pending investigation. Marcus sold his stake at a loss. Disappeared from the industry. I changed the locks. Changed my passwords. Changed my silence into something intentional. Sometimes I think about the boy who called me dad. It hurts. But pain is information, and information is power. She once treated my body like a resource, my time like currency, my trust like an expendable asset. Not anymore. Now I understand something simple. Love without truth is leverage, and I am no longer available for extraction. I replied, done. And I meant it.